Hello, this is Photography Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Crackdown for the Xbox Series S. The game was originally released in 2007 for the Xbox 360. Crackdown is an action-adventure game developed by Real Time Worlds. The game takes place in Pacific City as its islands are overrun by gangs. You play as an agent tasked with the eradication of the gangs, and the game can be played solo or online with friends. So what is the game like to play? Well, as I said, you play as a genetically modified agent, which means the more you complete certain activities, the more effective you become. Your skills are broken down into 5 categories: agility, driving, firearms, explosives, and strength. The more you complete those activities, the better they become. But if the gangs get the better of you, don't worry. You will regenerate at a checkpoint with a new clone body, but retaining all of your progression. As you kill gang members, they drop coloured orbs. Kill them with guns and you get firearms skills increasing. Run over them with a car, that will increase, and so on. It's one of those intuitive progression systems that makes perfect sense. The more you do something, the better you'll get at it, so it really works in that regard. General combat is on a kind of street by street basis with the emphasis on urban warfare. You start with standard issue guns, but you can acquire newer firearms from the dead gang members. Grenades are also an option, as is melee, but firearms always felt like the most effective way to take down your foes. This is where the lock-on system comes in. You can target an enemy by the body part, take out the legs and they drop to the floor, or if you shoot the hand with their gun in it, they are disarmed. It is a cool system, albeit one that's a little bit clumsy, and it does need a little bit of refining and increased fluidity. There are 3 main gangs in the game, starting out with Los Muertos, a stereotypical Mexican cartel holding down the area of La Mugre, aka the Dirt. Later on you encounter the Volk and Shigen, and these gangs have grunts, hit squads, armed guards, gang leaders and kingpins to eliminate. The city is perhaps a little bit barren in terms of its detail, but it feels like a lived-in place with civilians, gangs and the police patrolling the streets. You can drive vehicles, but I'll be honest, most of the time it's not worth it, as once your agility skills increase, getting around is much easier using a bit of rooftop parkour than trying to navigate the traffic. Saying that, the cars do have their uses as projectiles, as once your strength increases you can lift huge vehicles and throw them at enemies, which is a really satisfying part of the game. Finally, on gameplay, game modes include campaign, time trials, street racing and keys to the city, which is a mode where you can use lots of cheats. Graphically, the game has a kind of semi-cel shaded style with reasonably nice visuals on the whole. I mean, it's not going to blow you away, but considering its age, I think it looks quite nice. In terms of sound, the voice actor who is your boss is very well suited and sounds like a proper company man. The sound effects are bold and punchy, but I'd say the music is a little bit hit and miss. But there are a few nice tracks, in particular the ones by Control Machete, which reminded me of a few sketchy nights I spent in Mexico City many moons ago. Okay, what's good and what's bad? What's good? It's a simple and fun gameplay loop. The progression system is intuitive and tied to your actions. Taking down the gang leaders is satisfying, and it's easy to pick up and play. What's bad? The gameplay loop can get a little bit tedious as you enter the final push. Melee combat isn't as fluid as it could have been, and the game lacks a little bit in the graphical department. So what's the verdict? You know, sometimes when I revisit these old games, it can be a little bit of a chore to play them again. Well, not here. Crackdown, it's a game that's very easy to get into, and it's lots of fun while it lasts. The premise is simple, the controls are easy to pick up, and the gameplay loop and progression system add to the experience. It can be very addictive at first, but I would say perhaps as you get into the second half of the game, the repetition does start to numb you a little bit. So I would definitely recommend it if you want to, check your brain entertainment. Good shooting, bit of parkour, bit of superpowers, but don't expect anything that's too complicated, and the grind does get a little bit boring. So scoring wise, I kind of wanted to give it an 8, but I feel like that was too generous, so I kind of had to just take it down a notch because it did get repetitive in the second half. It is a bit too repetitive, but it is entertaining, so scoring wise, I give Crackdown 7.7 out of 10. It's definitely worth playing, I'd say that, but have expectations that are kind of a little bit muted. Okay, that's the review. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. This is Photography Gamer signing off. Thank you.